film begins in Germania in 180 AD birth, and we are currently seeing the Roman army led by General Maximus is currently preparing for they fight the Berber tribes in Germania here. The important thing is that it is Maximus sent a messenger to the Berber tribes so that they agree he surrenders. But the messenger returns to his horse without his head because the tribes killed him after that. They show the tribes and those who have a head, the messenger is now ready for war. At this time, Maximus kept starting to motivate his soldiers all the time. The war begins and the Roman soldiers begin to strike with catapults on these tribes to set them on fire, the forests in which they are fortified and in themselves at this time. Maximus and his soldiers begin to attack on the tribes and kill them. Prefer war to remain. It's been a long time coming, and we're seeing during this war Maximus's very great fighting power. As usual, Maximus and his men are finally able to. They win the battle and become the emperor. The Roman Marx exists by his mind and sees this battle, and he is very happy that his army won. Regret. The battle ends and Marx goes to Maxim. They ask what he wishes for on the occasion, meaning he wins in the battle. They sold Maximus that he wanted his freedom. He goes to his wife and his son lives. It is important because Maxim is my friend. He is originally Spanish, and you can say that general in the army and everything, yes, but not in his mood. The important thing is that Marx knows that he will think on the subject and responds to it on the other side. At the same time, we see the crown prince as a son, Maximus, whose name is Commodus. Will be Commodus currently in a car like this with his sister Lucilla. They talk together. So Ben knew from their words that they came by order of their father, Emperor Marx. Whoever asked to meet them and says Commodus now. To his sister, their father Marx is very sick, and that is why he originally invited them so that Commodus would be my guardian. The covenant in any case will arrive after a while. Commodus to the land of battle and meets his father Marx. He greets him and congratulates him on his victory. So they sold Marx now said that he must bless Maxim because he is the one who won. So Commodus blesses him, and we find. So Marx doesn't like Commodus very much. He meant to embarrass him because he doesn't fight like Maximus. In general, on this same day at night, it will be, and this is a celebration on the occasion of the victory that happened. This celebration brings Commodus and takes Maximus. They know 2 senators to the entire empire. Ro then spoke Commodus with Maximus, and he knew that his father would die very soon, and he is the one who will be the emperor in his place, He helps him get rid of the Senate, and from the representatives in it, because they always appreciate it. They opposed the emperor, so they sold Maximus that he was not. He is interested in all this and is waiting for Emperor Marx. I give God his freedom so that he can return his son to his wife. Of course, this bothers Commodus very much, but he does not comment. But Maximus knows that his sister Lucilla is here. She still loves him like before because, by the way, my friend Maximus and Selican, there was a love story between them a long time ago, but it went away on its own again. One day, Marx summoned Maximus to Beirut for him. Maximus actually. And at that time, Marx continued to enter into. The subject was always known to Marx and Maximus that he intended to. He appoints him as protector of Rome instead of his son. Commodus is a very failed person and does not know how to run the country. Marx knows that he summoned Commodus here to tell him this himself. I am sure he will agree and know Maximus Marx. He does not want to be the protector of Rome, and his only goal is he just takes his freedom and goes to live with his wife, his son. But Marx rejects this and knows that the person most suitable for this position is the one who will be able to. He protects the country, and that is why he will make him the protector of Rome. Seriously, Marx also knows that he has the day ahead of him. Everyone thinks about him, informs him of his decision, and thinks, well, I swear to God, Maximus is up to his word and will leave and walk away. After that, he met Maxis Lucilla and preferred. He talks to her about the old days, and you know him. Lucilla said that her husband died and that she currently has a son. His name is Lucius. He is 8 years old, and it is clear that Lucilla hints that they are getting back together like before. But Maximus knows that he is married and has a wife and a child, and it is not useful for him to be with him at all. He marries her and sells her now and leaves after a while from all this. They meet his son Commodus. He knows that he will not leave the emperor because he is not. He will be able to be in a position like this, even if he is, which will make Maximus protect the country for a certain period so that the Senate can choose its path. They run the country with it. And then the system ends, imperial rule, and the country turns into a republic. The people there rule themselves, of course. All this talk, Commodus is very upset and thinks that his father, he takes his legal right to stay the emperor. And that is why Commodus is close to his father as Marx, and he pretends to hug him. But he is in the truth is that he keeps suffocating until he dies. After that, one of the soldiers went, Maximus knows that Commodus wants it all the time. Maximus goes to see what's wrong with him. So I find him, Commodus is waiting, and they know that the emperor, she died, and her father knew Maximus all the time, that Commodus is the one who killed him, and thus leaves Maximus as the place where he goes to see what he will do. But Maximus won't be able to do anything. A group of soldiers go to him, led by a soldier. His name is Counts, and he remains Omar Maximus's friend. By the way, currently Counts and those with him are getting arrested on Maximus, and this is the one whose blood he knows all the time. Commodus decided to remove him from the path. The important thing is that Maximus remained desperate, asking Counts that he takes care of his wife and son because he feels that he will be killed. So Counts came, and they know that his wife and son died a long time ago. And he still did it by order. From Commodus, of course. Maximus is very shocked by him. But the next day there was a group of soldiers. They are currently taking him to a place like this in the forest. They execute him. But Maximus doesn't let him do that. And he always starts hitting them hard and taking a sword from one of them, and he keeps killing everyone. The soldiers, yes, in the battle, describe his armor. But Bader gets rid of everyone. Then he takes Maximus a horse, and a punt found him on his way home to check on him. His wife and son are the first to arrive home. They are surprised and very attached. And of course this is very shocking, very much so. And he keeps crying over them because of his great sadness and reason, the injury in his arm. He can't bear it. He endures all of this and falls unconscious. When he wakes up, Maximus finds himself in a car like this again. There are many people with him, and we know that these people, they are all slaves. So Maximus took them after a while. They will reach the whole city called the city of Zugbar, and the slave trader goes there. The one who took Maximus to someone named Proximo, and offers Proximo slaves who, with all of them, including Maximus Phoebe, Shri Proximo Maximus, and Abdul-Qaeda, again named him Juba, was one of those who were with the merchant as well. Then Proximo takes everyone to his yard. He now knows that they will be his slaves. They work as wrestlers on the battlefield and he remained one of the wrestlers he owned a. Proximo named Hagen is training them and is moving now. He attacked with Juba and Bella and found him to be a very good fighter. Then he moves with Maximus. But Maximus is not. He doesn't want to be a slave and has to fight because someone else wins from behind him, and that's why he doesn't. He was satisfied with training completely, and the next day, he started participating. Maximus in his first fight. Against his will, it would be a bit of a strange fight if Maximus entered to fight this while he is tied to Juba, so that he fights him together. There will also be many wrestlers in the places called Hajin, and we will see. By the way, Brooke Simo is watching all of this now, and Para on Maximus is the one who will win and prefer. The fight is really going on, and Maximus prefers to answer it. And Hajin hit him in front of the wrestlers. They prefer to be very pious with them with all their strength and courage, and the fighting ends, and what remains? They are living. Maximus, Juba, and he only attacked. And who? Here everyone starts to see that Maximus a strong fighter and not easy at all on the other side. At the same time, we see that Commodus. He arrives in Rome with his sister as a welcome tool, of course, from all the people, because he will take over the tasks. From this moment on, Cambra is a phase that is going away. Now Commodus to the Senate and delivers. They have to, and one of these representatives is a person named Falco, who remains loyal to Commodus as well. A person whose name is Gracchus, and this remains against Commodus. Very much so, and I think he is not fit to be emperor at this time. Gracchus told Commodus that there are many problems in the country, such as the plague. What has started to spread must find a solution, but Commodus's response is that this is not important. There are other things that are more important to the people and are necessary for everyone. They take care of her, and here Grax gets upset. So he sold on Commodus because he didn't know the tasks. His job makes Commodus angry and almost threatening Gracchus in words. But the means and what it was, I am with them here currently, to collect the topic. She takes Commodus and walks back to Luxor now. And there, Scylla kept telling him to Commodus that he must listen to Garage and all senators. They want the best for Rome and the people. They are not against him, but Commodus will have another opinion. I think he should end this Senate completely, because they are always like a threat to him. And it is possible in any time they abolish the empire and evacuate the country republic. And Commodus Lucilla knows that there is a plan. So in his mind he wants to implement it to distract himself, the people, and then at that time he remained in his own hands. The people will remove the Senate the next day. My friend, we see that there is paper being distributed everywhere. He says that the great wrestling ring in Rome will open again, and there will be competitions between wrestlers for 150 days a year and science. These matches and competitions were losing. The empire is a long time ago. That's why Marx Abu Commodus was completely blocking her, but now Commodus brought it back so that the people would be distracted and see what will he do with the Senate in the meantime. This remains, but on the other hand, we see that Maximus prepares himself to enter a new fight. Currently, Proximo comes to him and talks to him. Proximo is very upset that Maximus Beetle is always in the ring and doesn't work. Offers that attract the audience and demand from Maximus says that when he enters the ring, he does not keep getting upset. All the while, no, people don't like this, as he thinks Maximus doesn't care about everything. When he enters the new fight, he prefers to kill in all the fighters against him and he can be saved. He beats them all and wins with all his brilliance after he finishes. This fight calls for Proximo and Max. For example, his room, and they know they will go fight Rome, and they know that he must prove himself. There, the emperor there can give it to him, his freedom, and he is no longer a wrestling slave with Proximo. Proximo knows that in the past he was a fighter like him. Exactly. But Emperor Marx gave him the sword, the wooden one and the one with it. Give him his freedom, of course. My friend Maximus, while talking this, knows that Emperor Commodus is currently the emperor. The new one is impossible to do this to, but he decides he goes to Rome and fights there. Maybe he can get it, his freedom, in any form, and at least he still can. He confronts Emperor Commodus and takes his rights from what he did to him in any case after a few days. From all this, Maximus, Juba, and Hagen arrive, and Proximal and many other wrestlers with them. Roma are now standing in front of the wrestling ring, the famous one called Al-Chasm, and they are not. They believe in themselves completely and that they will move to a place. On the other hand, we still see Commodus standing in front of his nephew Lucius and being Commodus. He looks at him like a mule, and we will shake him up, by the way, just in front of him. The important thing is that Rosella comes now to take it. From this position and talking to him together, Ben knew who they say that Commodus intends to abolish the Senate. After a short while, you will try a method that means you understand it. This is very wrong, but he will not go back on his words. So you love Wasila and leave now and walk away. After that, you go to Wasila and meet Gracchus, and another one of the Senate is called Gaius, and we know that they meet in secret every once in a while, and we also know that Marcella meets them so that they find his way. They stop Commodus, alone and on the subject. The important abolition of the Senate means that Lucilla. Now you know that Commodus will hold competitions. He fights with money for food and supplies. It means that people will also die in many years. Hunger because of championships and empty talk. We also know that Commodus deals with her son Lucius in a strange way, and she feels this way. He might kill her son because he is the heir to the throne. After that, my friend, we always understand why Commodus. His way with Lucius is strange, but the important thing is that Lucilla lets them know they have to kill Commodus as soon as possible. They stop, so Gracchus knows it. They have to do this, but not. They now prefer to act in front of Commodus because he did not doubt them at all. So he agreed to his method. Their words, and you leave and walk the next day, and you start competitions at the Colosseum. Of course, Commodus is there and watching these competitions. With all the people, Max is currently entering to fight with his team of Proximo fighters. And science means that everyone is wearing similar shoes. Masks mean no one can see what the second one is currently entering Maximus with everyone. The fighters enter the wrestling ring, and suddenly they have wrestlers riding in cars. And it is assumed, they fight him, of course it will be difficult. Very, very much so. But Maximus still prefers to direct everyone fighters as he used to do with his soldiers in the past war, and they start fighting these wrestlers. It is originally in carts, and 2 letters can finish on a kitten. Some of them said that this whole battle, by the way, he gets injured. Hagen quickly goes to Maximus and they move away. A little bit about fighting so that he doesn't die, and continues Maximus in this fight with the rest of the wrestlers until they can win, and they are amazed. Of course, everyone has them, including Commodus himself. That's why after the fighting ends, he goes down. Commodus talks to these wrestlers and speaks. Of course with Maximus, because he is the strongest one among them. He wants to get to know them and therefore asks. He took off his helmet and sold it, and here it remained. Commodus is shocked when he learns that this is Maximus. He is still alive, and Commodus decides that he will kill him immediately. And indeed, Commodus' soldiers are literally raising. Their swords are so that they recite, but the audience and the one who, they will be very happy with Maximus. They prefer. They ask Commodus to let him live, so he is forced to. Commodus hears their words against his will and actually leaves Maximus' lives, but of course he is upset and he finds any way to get rid of it on the same day at night. Lucilla comes to Maxime. Maximus thinks she's coming to kill him, but Lucilla knows that she is not like her brother Commodus. She did not know what would happen to him and his family. Luce asks Maximus to join her, she, Grace, and Kyocera, so that they can finish off Commodus before he finished off her son Lucius, because he is the heir to the throne after him, and before it is destroyed as well. The whole country. But Maximus doesn't believe her. Finally, he rejects her offer and leaves. And the next day, my friend, we will see that Commodus gathers all the soldiers who previously said, he said that Maximus died, which is supposed to mean that they killed him, and he wanted to save them all because they wrote to him and told him that Maximus died with he is living normally and is actually being killed, all of them now. For a while after all this, we see that Maximus enters for a new fight, and this fight will be against a star, a legend who has never lost a single match in his history. All of them. But this is not the most dangerous thing that is happening, because when the fight starts, Maximus is surprised that they tigers also enter it, and of course it is a commando. He did this so that he could get rid of Maximus only. Maximus does not care and prefers to fight with the wrestler against him until he can finish. He has to do it after a lot of trouble. Of course, because by the way he was fighting with him and at the same time he avoids the tiger in general, meaning after the fighting is over, Commodus Maximus says that he only kills tigers. Maximus refuses, and here, Commodus remains. And his soldiers put Maximus and prefer Commodus. Maximus provokes him so that he makes a mistake and is in. It is something in front of all these people that he kills him, but Maximus doesn't make mistakes at all, so he has to be a Commodus. He leaves him to live again. Then he leaves. Maximus was one of the soldiers who were, those close to him used to ask Maximus about the soldier. This means that he gathers soldiers for him like this. He will do something big very soon, so he agrees. This soldier is happy and walking now. Maximus. On the other hand, we still see Commodus. He is sitting with Falco, and he is very, very fanatical. He also wants to get rid of Maximus. Phoebe Falco chose to kill him. But Commodus was not. He is satisfied because the people love him very, very much. Even if he kills him, he will lose the people he wants to be by his side when he cancels the House of Representatives, and they decide that he is thinking on a second way to get rid of Maximus. The important thing is that we return again to Maxim and the one who he is going. Now to meet the soldier I told you a little while ago. The soldier knew that he was destined. All soldiers have their friends from a long time ago, and they are all ready for whatever important thing Maximus is happy about and knows the soldier wants to send a message to the medium that I very much agree to join her. So the soldier does that. Indeed, after a while, we will see Maximus go with Lucilla meets Gracchus. Gracchus said to Maximus said he had a nice plan to finish with on Commodus. The plan in brief is that Gracchus Maximus buys from Proximo, and then he leaves. Maximus gathers his army from the beginning, and returns once again on Rome, and he is saved on Commodus. Of course, Maximus agrees very much and breaks up with that. After a few days of all this is supposed to happen the day Gracchus buys Maximus, but Gracchus is not coming and going now. Proximo to Maximus, and they know that he saw. There are many spies in the city, and it is clear that Gracchus won't be able to buy it today. So he leaves Maximus of Proximo, said that he should at least leave him. He goes to complete his mission, and when he finishes, he will answer him a lot of money. But Proximo does not agree because he wants to think about the first topic. Then he stays. The method comes to Maxim, and you know that Gracchus, he was arrested, and he had to run away because Commodus knew everything, and he certainly wouldn't leave. Now you leave the means and go home. There you will find Commodus sitting with her son Lucius. Commodus knows that he knew everything, and that if she conspired against him again, he would kill her son after that. We see that the soldiers of Commodus go to Proximo, and wrestlers lived, which means they will be saved on all of them, especially Maximus. This is on the idea of Proximo going quickly to Maximus. I have the key to the room he and everyone are in. The wrestlers decide that Maximus will just run away. Before he does that, he asks the wrestlers that they disrupt the soldiers, so they actually agreed to his words, leave Maximus, and he runs away and attacks. Now soldiers on Proximo and wrestlers, they kill Proximo, Hagen, and a few other wrestlers. After that, they love Juba and the rest of the wrestlers who is with him so that they can see what they will do to them. Then Maximus went to the soldier who followed him so that they could go to the rest of the soldiers. They look like a war. But Maximus is surprised, and suddenly Commodus soldiers appear from scratch and are arrested. That's it, sir. They take him to prison, and he comes now. Maximus Commodus comes out without any introduction, a knife and a serious injury. Then he passes by. Commodus's men wear his Maximus armor, because it will be said immediately in the ring in front of everyone. We know that Commodus wants to kill Maximus in front of all the people so that people love Commodus just as they love Maximus. Maximus also shakes in their eyes, of course. It will be a one-eyed Commodus. Maximus is like this, so he can't fight and he dies. But despite that, Bader Maximus, my friend is fighting with Commodus with all his might and hitting him right on a left hit. Maximus can, in the end, ends with Commodus, despite his injury. What happened? My friend Maximus is talking. He goes out in spirit with all people and asks them. His wrestling friends like Juba are going out from prison, and Gracchus and others like him from clean politicians also get them out of prison. These are the clean people who are able to. They are really fixing the conditions of the country that destroyed it. Commodus. And Maximus finishes his engagement and dies in a scene that is sad and ends with this jump. I hope you liked the movie, and I would like to say for you, my friend, it means that there is a second part that I am close to. This movie will be released in a few days. Those who come, wait, and that's it. Peace.